sad, but So that's why I said that's questionable. Cooperative? Is she cooperative? Not really. She's only cooperative to a small percentage of the population of men. Probably around in Charlotte, she's probably about. That's probably a number that's about 10%, maybe. Just because she says she's not going to settle, well, then that means that you're not willing to cooperate. Okay. Is she submissive? I think she's submissive to the right guy. If you a 10% earner, you making 75 to 100K, I think she'll be submissive then. The problem is that if let's say that's 15% of the population, right? That means 85% of the time she's not submissive. And she's got 2 kids. To the average man, is this woman marriageable?
Is that a baby? Here's your kids. You're not breastfeeding. Are you breastfeeding? No.
No, I'm not breastfeeding. I just said to someone here, and I was like, it would be so funny if she really actually picked me, and you picked me next. That's crazy. Hi, Kendra. Yes,
Hi,
this
baby.
is my baby. She's
That's
one.
your baby?
She passed her bedtime, and
Good.
she act like she don't want to go to sleep.
Why are you on a dating show with a baby? That baby look like is that baby even a year old? Like what? Oh my god, man! Woman with 6 kids before, and now we got this woman who is got that baby ain't even. Okay, all right, reset. Keep an open mind. Let's go.
Woo! Do you have a 1-year-old?
Yes.
Well, let me get to that question early. Why you not with the dad? Because everybody's gonna say, why you not with the
Yes.
dad? The baby's one.
Just because before I got pregnant, we actually broke up because we just mentally were on different pages. It just wasn't working. But unfortunately, I found out I was pregnant right after, as it always happens. And I chose to keep my baby and try to work on things, and it just so here I am with the one.
Chris says it's going to be a long night, and I agree. Yeah, so while I got to stop, let's go ahead and recap this. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. So she's got a 1-year-old baby. Her and the baby's father were in a relationship of some kind. We don't know if it was a situationship or not, but they weren't seeing eye to eye, so they split, and then she found out she was pregnant. So many times this happens in our community, which is why you end up with women who, a lot of times that's a situation that happens a lot with, and how women become single moms. My question is that if you who vetted that man for you? Again, I always bring this up, and it's not a question to like to it's not a gotcha moment question, or it's not a question to shame the women. It's actually because we want to know, because it's a question that leads to that opens up more about. It's supposed to give us more information about the woman's, how she was raised, because if she doesn't trust the men in her family enough to help her with vetting the men who are potential suitors, then in most of the cases it's a lack of trust and a lack of respect that's going on there. So the question then becomes, what is going on here? We got, give me a second, guys. I've just had some windows pop up here, and it's an auto update, and we don't need that right now. Okay. But usually it comes from a lack of trust or a lack of respect. But again, these are the men that she has known for her whole life. So if that's what you do with the men in your family who you've known that long, then how are we going to survive in a relationship? Because again, I haven't known you for that long. And how are you going to be able to follow my leadership if you don't even trust the men you've known for your whole life? Now, and like I said, that's not a deal breaker, because she may be bringing some other qualities to the table that are what going to bring balance to the relationship. But it does raise an interesting point. And she may very well have an answer for that. I mean, she could have been born to a family that is, full of single women. And I got into an argument when I was on a panel on another show about the fact that, well, the question was about whether or not women can self-improve. They 100% can. So if you can get a woman who can answer that question or give you a valid answer to it, it may be worth pursuing it, or, at least gathering more information, or, devoting some more time to figure out who she is as a person. But, again, it's something that you have to bring up. So let's keep going, because this is, I'm not going to say she's not marriageable at this point, because we just don't know enough.
1-year-old, and I also have an 11-year-old.
2 kids, okay?
By the same man?
No, unfortunately not. I was in
Okay.
an 8-year relationship with my 11-year-old's dad. That ended 7 years ago, and yeah.
Wait. Math ain't math in here. 8-year relationship. It ended 3 years ago, and the child is 11. Okay, so what? Did she get pregnant as soon as they got together? Am I tripping? Because that's what that sounds like. The child, this 8-year relationship, they broke up 3 years ago. 8 plus 3 is 11. So, situationship maybe? Is that what happened? Situationship, they got pregnant. She had the baby. They was trying to make it work. It didn't, of course, right? Because situationships are never long term. That's why I always recommend avoiding them, because they don't work out. And now you got a kid. So we're starting to see a pattern here, huh? What are the chances that she was raised by a single mom? See, I said this before, and I think it's an ongoing theory, or I should say it's not a theory at this point. It's just a hypothesis that our women have a hard time with their understanding their value, which is why, or they have a hard time seeing their value when they're raised by single moms, because that a lot of the validation when they're younger which is supposed to be coming from the father, which should give you an understanding of a better understanding of what your value is as you go into womanhood. But if the dad's not there and you don't receive that, then you go out in the world searching for it. And of course, this is how you end up with an over-sexualized culture. It's because you're seeking validation from the men out there. And because men, we have this negative stereotype that the only thing we're looking for is sex. You think that, or women think that that's their most valuable asset. So there we go. Again, it's just a working hypothesis. I think this is a great series to see if it's because of the amount of women that Kendra interviews. I think it's a great series to see if this is actually going to turn into a theory. Let's keep going.
So what's your name, honey?
My name is Enija.
Enija. Hey, Kendra kids.
Look, say
Hey,
hi.
Kendra kids. She's a beautiful little girl.
Thank
So,
you.
how do you pronounce your name again?
Enija.
Enija. Enija.
What just happened?
They know how.
Oh, okay. It was on their end.
Enija, you back?
Yes.
Okay, Wi-Fi be acting up sometimes, so I'm gonna try to go fast. Enija, where you calling us from?
Charlotte. I'm from New York, though, Brooklyn.
Charlotte, but from New York. How old are you?
32.
32. You have 2 kids, 11 and 1.
Yes.
When's your birthday or zodiac sign?
October 2nd. I'm a Libra.
A Libra. And what do you do for a living?
I work in customer service for a bank.
Customer service.
Sounds about right.
All right, Enija, what kind of man you looking for, boo?
Somebody just chill, down to earth. Somebody I could vibe with and kick it with. Somebody who's
For those of you that don't know, that answer is a bunch of gobbledygook. But it's really just, well, When I want somebody to vibe and chill with, what women don't understand about men is that vibes can be artificially created. And we got to start putting that out there, because women who are men who are charismatic, they can create the vibes. That's why they're charismatic. So that doesn't really say anything. Well, I guess it does. It says that I don't want men who are awkward and I guess you could say that she's looking for somebody who has experience with women. Or no, not really. More so who has good social skills. I would say it like that.
Motivated, get to the bag, you know, yeah, somebody I could just kick it with, and hopefully, it could be my husband.
Oh, you want to get? Have you ever been married?
No, no, just in a long-term relationship
Yeah.
with my son's dad. Outside of that, no.
So now you want to get married?
Yeah, that was always the goal, girl.
No, it wasn't. No, she gonna sit there and tell that lie. That was always the goal. No, it wasn't, because it would have happened. It didn't happen before the kids. It didn't, and it didn't happen after. Don't tell me that's the goal. That's a lie.
Girl, I ain't have my 11-year-old, for nothing. It was a really serious relationship. Marriage was on the table, but unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards. Yeah.
Okay. What's some deal breakers for you?
People, if he can't keep it real, I can't deal with that. I just need somebody who can keep it real. So that's my major deal breaker.
What does that mean?
A whole lot of kids. Somebody who
How many kids can he have?
3, maybe 4.
3, maybe 4. Okay.
Okay.
You have to look a certain way.
Just as long as he clean and he know how to dress up when it's time to go outside and dress up.
Okay. Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
I would say definitely more than me. So I would 75, 100 a year.
75 to 100. But
And the Kevin Samuels theme music just started playing in the background. She want a guy making 75 to 100K a year. And he got 2 kids. And the youngest is 1. And now she wants marriage after having the 2 kids by 2 different guys. What's next? He gonna be 6 feet tall too, right?
75 is the lowest you'll date.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he gotta have more than me. I can't deal with the guys who I can't. I just can't. I need somebody that's
What's wrong with the guys that make less than you?
It's like when it's time to go. Like me, I'm a woman. I like to go out.
You know what? That's a great question. I don't think I've ever heard her ask that before. But this is going to give us some insight to the way this woman was raised. It basically answers the question of is she a soldier in the gender war?
Out do things. So if I'm willing to go out by myself and spend $200 on a dinner, and you can't match that because you make less than me, it's not gonna work. It's gonna cause for a man to he gonna be jealous. It's not gonna work. It ain't
So how much do you make? Do you want to share?
50.
So would you date a guy that makes 50?
If he got kids, I don't think that's gonna work. Cause how you gonna help afford, with our lifestyle and
I told y'all before, women don't know numbers like that. Because you're going to sit here and say, well, he can't make it work because it's only 50. But she's making it work now, clearly, right? Unless she's just struggling. But again, if you're just struggling, why have another child? See, women don't know numbers like that. That all she's going by. And did you also catch the fact that, oh yeah, he needs to make 75 to 100, make more than me. Well, 55 is more than her. But she didn't say that though, did she? This woman has been raised to be a soldier in the gender war. I know it's sad to say, but that's what we're dealing with here. It's because, again, this is a prime example of the vetting process being broken. The only thing that she is using or the biggest thing that she is using as a filter for men is the wallet. That's it. Oh, and somebody I can vibe with. But again, I told you guys, men who are charismatic can create a vibe. That's not something that's real. That can be artificially created. So the only thing we have to go on for is she wants a man with money. That's the only thing that she's, well, you know what? She may say something else, but that's the only thing that she's. Chris says, that's the problem. Single mothers going to Ruth, Chris, and Morton showing off for the gram. I agree. But again, I told you, like I said, women don't know numbers like that. They don't know what that, because again, if you got a guy who's making 50 and you're making 50, well, y'all got 100. She's in Charlotte. Okay? She's in North Carolina. The average household income in North Carolina is not 100. It's less than that. If I had to guess, I will say that the average household income is probably about 65. But again, women don't know numbers like that.
What we got going on?
But he makes the same with you when you have kids.
Yeah, but now you got me too.
There you go.
Yeah.
So do you expect him to provide for your children as well?
No. But eventually, if we're,
Huh?
the relationship, she like, listen.
Wait. You don't expect him to provide for you and your kids, but you're telling him that $50K is not enough, even though she makes that now. Bruh. I have a YouTube short out there about why women want men why they keep saying 100K. The quick version, so you guys don't have to go look it up if you don't want to, but the quick version is 100K is a nice round number. That's the only reason why women keep saying it. Because again, if you ask most of them, okay, well, how much money is that a month? You can see the loading screen start turning in their eyes because they don't know. Yeah, make it make sense, because this doesn't.
Listen, I want to talk to and put me down. She want to walk around, and it's bedtime. Go ahead, girl. But what you just said? Can you say that again?
So I guess because you say he has to make more than you. So you said you make 50, but you won't date a guy that makes 50 because he has to be able to take care of you as well.
Yeah, I need him to have a little bit more than me. I just feel like as a man, I wanted to, I want you to be a little bit above me with certain things and, be the leader.
Be the leader, she said. Okay, Elijah.
Translation, lead with your wallet, which is what she's really saying is, yes, I want a guy to lead with his wallet. He should just buy me things. But not only that if you lose that income, well, then I'm going to have to go find somebody else. Or no, it's probably not that. It's more so if he loses his income, then I'm going to have to leave the relationship. And we know where that's going. It's right to the end, right? So, well, you know what? There's a whole lot here. Let's keep going.
We got to do the Kendrick Kim. I know you got your baby.
No.
How we going to make this work?
Come and say it that fast. She like, listen, mommy, do not put me down. Excuse me, I got on my around the house, mommy stuff. All right. Let me sit right here.
Okay, we kind of see you. Oh, she turned around and showed the booty. Okay, we got you, girl. So, Elijah, when was your last relationship?
Okay.
With her dad.
With her dad. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
2 months ago with her dad.
Wait a minute.
Chris says she's broke. She's making $4,000 a month with 2 kids and spending $200 on dinners. She's definitely looking for a sponsor. Here's the thing. I don't think she's spending money on dinners like that. I think she's just using that as an example so that to lure in the guys that can actually do that. Because you got to remember, she got a 1-year-old. Was she taking a 1-year-old to a steakhouse? That's not happening. This woman probably ain't been nowhere like that for a while. So yeah, I don't think she's doing that for herself. Because if let's just again, the math is not mathing here, because you got a baby who's a 1-year-old. Her job more than likely came with some kind of maternity leave, which she would have been on. So, but maternity leave comes with reduced income. So, yeah, I don't. But this next thing should be interesting.
2 months ago with her dad. So should a guy worry that you guys could get back together?
Yeah.
No, we pretty much have that established. So we tried to do it again. Just because, who wants to be a single mom, 2 kids, 2 different baby dads, after being in serious relationships with these men. So, we tried to start dating again for a little while. I went my whole pregnancy without anything. And a little while thereafter, and girl, it was what it was. And
Translation. It was supposed to be a rekindling for her. For him, it was casual sex. Chris. Nah, bro, I believe it. I used to bartend and fine dining. Trust me, I used to see these women all the time. All right, I'll take your word for it then.
yeah, it was what it was, and that's what it was.
So do y'all co-parent well?
Yeah, everything's cool. Yeah, we went through a little, rocky part, of everything, but we're good. He's doing what he's supposed to. Everything's cool. So
I will say 2 months ago was not that long ago. And if I was a guy, I would be a little cautious because this is a man that's not going nowhere. Your
listen,
baby's
men
going
do
home.
it too. Half these men done slept with somebody last night and got a couple potentials. I'm keeping it 100, and if I
Yeah,
went
but your
outside,
potential was a child's father who's not going nowhere.
how?
But your potential was your child's father. So
No,
you
he's
can't cut
not
this
a
man
potential.
off.
I'm saying men. They may have, potentials and stuff.
Soldier in the gender war. Well, men can do it too. Classic gender war / feminist talking point. Men and women, I'm going to behave just like a man because men can do that too. Meanwhile, simultaneously holding on to the fact that women are special and we can do things that men cannot, and we should be loved for it. Okay, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, but recognize and give value to the fact that men can do things that you can't do. Should men be going out and doing that? Probably not. But the fact that this is where we're at in the conversation says a whole lot. Chris says, wow, no accountability. I agree.
Stuff like that. I'm being real with it. It is what it is. Like,
It is what it is. So, but let's just make sure we're clear. So you feel as though there's no reconciliation between you and your child's father?
not on a relationship level, no.
Not a relationship. Okay.
No.
All right. So Inaja, why do you think you're single?
I think I've been into, long relationships. I got 2 kids behind them. And I just feel like I just want respect, and I feel like sometimes men lose that respect in relationships and do crazy things. So, and
That's
I'm not
interesting.
for it,
Most women say they want love, not respect, but okay.
I know what I want in life. I know where I'm going. I know what I got going on. And it's like, I don't know, I'm not settling. And to be honest with you, I'll be in the crib. I don't even be meeting nobody. So that's just really the real thing.
I believe that.
Got you. All right. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I feel like I'm a good package, I have a good head on my shoulders. I'm determined. I get to the bag. I'm a very nice, lady, very versatile. I'm that girl all around. You want me straight over here in every aspect.
All right, let's do it. This
What?
is Inaja, 32, Libra, 2 kids. You want more kids?
No, hell no. He can't have. Nope.
Okay, so he has to have kids already.
Yeah, you can't. No more
Okay.
kids. It ain't no IVF in the future. No, you not.
So you want a man that already has kids, because if a guy wanted to get married to you, he has to get married to you knowing that he's not gonna be able to have a child.
Right.
Guy who makes 75 to
Okay,
100K.
so that's the man that
Chris with the $5 super chat. Man, I'm loving the channel. You're like a mix between Style OG and Kevin Samuels. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
already has kids or does not want kids or would be satisfied with her kids only.
Yes.
What's the age range you would date?
35 to 50.
35 to 50. I'm hearing older women like older these days. 35 to 50. All
Yeah.
right, and he doesn't have to be in Charlotte, right?
No, no, I like to travel.
Does he have to fly you out if he's not?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I go places. So.
She got an 11-year-old in school.
All
How
right,
she?
now
Where's she traveling
let's do it.
to?
How you want the guy to reach out to you, baby girl?
He can hit me up on my Instagram.
Okay, yeah, that's enough of that. All right, so, uh, despite the fact that a lot of this seemed very negative, there were actually some positives in this. Okay, the first one is that she's not obese. To have 2 kids, I gotta give her some credit for that. She's not obese because most women gain weight after every pregnancy. So there is a positive there. Is she feminine? No, I'm picking up masculine energy a whole lot. The whole thing about excuse me, about wanting respect. When I said, most feminine women, they want love to come first. This is why a popular saying is that men love your wives, women respect your husbands. So again, and it's there. I mean, I could go back through this and point out a whole bunch of other masculine tendencies, but I would say that there was more masculine than feminine behavior there. Is she friendly? Yeah, that's questionable. I mean, because she mentioned the fact that she don't really be going places, which tells me that she's mostly staying at home. But that could be because she's got a 1-year-old. But let's say it's not, then she doesn't come. That means that you're not coming off that friendly because most people aren't trying to hang out with you. Sad, but so that's why I said that's questionable. Cooperative? Is she cooperative? Not really. She's only cooperative to a small percentage of the population of men. Probably around in Charlotte, she's probably that's probably a number that's about 10%, maybe. Just because she says she's not going to settle. Well, then that means that you're not willing to cooperate. Okay. Is she submissive? I think she's submissive to the right guy. If you a 10% earner, you make a 75 to 100K, I think she'll be submissive then. The problem is that if let's say that's 15% of the population, right? That means 85% of the time she's not submissive. And she's got 2 kids. To the average man, is this woman marriageable? To the majority of the male population, no. Does that mean that she's just gonna die alone? I'm not saying that because, again, I said this back at the beginning, that women do have the capacity to self-improve. The things that are holding her back are basically ideals. If she was be willing to change some of those things, then she could be marriageable. I think the biggest thing is that the biggest issue is the cooperation and the submission thing. Her standard of the guy has to lead with money and that's probably one of the first things or the biggest thing that she has ingrained in herself. I say that because I think that she is overcompensating for past relationships and how they've worked out. Because there's a theory out here that says that, well, women only go for the top 20% of men. But if you start asking the women that are part of those conversations, okay, well, what are your previous boyfriends? What did they make? Like the relationship that's went the longest with you, what did that guy make? That's how you find out where women's. That's a great indicator of what a woman's sexual marketplace value is that the guy you've been in the longest relationship with, how much money did he make? Like, what did he do for a living? That's probably a good match for you. Somewhere in a guy on that level. But a lot of times what happens is because of negative experiences through a lack of the vetting process, women try and overcompensate. In today's world, it's easy to say, oh, I just need a man who makes more, as if money is going to solve all the issues. I mean, yeah, as if money's going to solve all the issues that have been built up through the time, throughout their whole lives. Like I said, a lot of these things are just products of being raised to be a soldier in the gender war. You know, but I'm probably gonna say that like 15 more times because this is rough. But again, do I think she's marriageable in her current state? No. I think that the fact that the other thing that's going on is that this woman was not raised to be a wife, because we've got this whole was it the math wasn't mathing. Remember, she's got an 11-year-old kid. And she said that her and the child's father, they were together for 8 years and they broke up 3 years ago. Well, I mean, you had the kid within the first year. No, it couldn't. That's probably not even true, because you had to be pregnant for 9 months, and that's the majority of that year right there. So, again, this is a lot of. It's a lot of hookup culture going on, which again, it's just all we're leading back to the vetting process. You know, who's vetting these guys for her. So we're going to move on to the next one because that's interesting. She got a kid in the live with her.